great evening, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Q&A. Today is gonna be a very special class, not only because Bitcoin has been exploding, everything's going up, but also because we have a special co-host today. Please welcome, and I don't have you here. What's going on? Let me get you here, buddy. Here we go, the one and only MajerPain. How is it going, brother? And welcome to to the live class for Tuesday Q&A. How is it going?
Thank you so much for having me, OC, and thank you guys for everything that you guys been doing for the last 10 months. It's amazing. Glad to be here again, and thank you for the invite. Looking forward for it.
Absolutely, my pleasure, brother. For the new members, let me let you know, guys, that you can start writing right here to my right. Make sure that is onto your left of your screen. Just look at the left top right of your screen. Sorry, top right of your screen. And then you stick for that little show chat button is right next to the little hand saying hi. And then just by typing, remember that you earn points and then you can exchange those points for trading view coins. So that is free. So guys, do not miss the opportunity to get some free coins and just by participating. By the way, if you don't know anything about what we're talking about, don't worry, just give it a guess. I mean, the worst that can happen is that you're earning free stuff. So I'm also going to be trying to get you to talk. And by the way, feel free to ask us any kind of question. So first of all, let me salute the special members that are the veterans. We have Tesla Pilot, what's up? Kim Cool, what's up? We also have RC2, what is up, brother? And Kenny, what's up, guys? For the new members, again, welcome. Hopefully, you have a great trading weekend. Trading week. So let's get going. MajerPain. Oh, I see. I keep dropping you. I don't know why. What's going on? All right, let's
Yep,
do that and get you
back.
back in. So, would you like to take over today and get started maybe with Bitcoin? Let us know what you're seeing and then move on with maybe one or two coins and then I can pitch in. By the way, guys, now is the time when you can request any kind of assets. Remember, this is not crypto exclusive and you need to tell us what you would like us to take a look at. So, without further ado, let's move into the charts. Major Pain, let us know what you got right here.
So, as soon as I start my analysis, I go on a 4 hour chart, and the first thing I do is I do my first trend line. So that's the first thing that I actually do is the trend line. Then I go a bit old school. I like to do my 21 SMA, my 100 SMA, and my 200 SMAs. So from here, I kind of start analysis, do a little analysis of where things can actually go from a basic without any chart prime indicators, because obviously these guys are awesome and they have probably the best indicators in the world. So my 21 SMA for analysis is my main go-to. But because I have chart prime best indicators, my maths is my second go-to. And my third one is my kernel regression, uh, multi-regression band that gives me a slightly good support on all the analysis between these three, the kernel, the 21, and the maths. Then I'll go to my market dynamics pro with predictive ranges, but only for I do my 12 hours. Why 12 hours? Gives me a depth of support and resistances, and obviously I activate only the premium zone. I know OC does the order blocks and the liquidity zone. I kind of keep it a bit simple because I can see it better. Because otherwise, I'll just have a lot of indicators on. And my last one is my trend assistant, which I know probably OC will hate that I always disable the signal mode. I don't really like the disable mode. I know he uses it a lot, but for me, I just don't find it. I don't like it. I don't really like it. Because the tuning mode, it's 18 for me and 15 that works out. So I keep it disabled because my signal is mainly my kernel and my maths. I leave the dynamic reactor on, my volume indicator, and the multi-time frame. I keep it for 1 hour, 4 hours, and 1 day. The candle highlight, I keep it on trend static, and that's pretty much it. And then I can zoom in a bit. So because we are at the very top, at the premium, at the predictive ranges, we didn't touch the support line yet. So I'm kind of waiting for a pullback, even though we're very, very bullish. Very bullish, I know that. But still, without the correction, this market is not healthy. So these God candles are God candles for a reason. The bigger they are, the bigger the drop can be. And we had a really nice range up to here. And I really thought that we're going to go underneath it, underneath this range. But we didn't. So I'm kind of waiting for a pullback. And my pullback entry, my main pullback entry, it will be on my 100 crossing the mats underneath my 21 SMA. But first, I have to see it underneath my kernel. The kernel for me was the best indicator so far. Kernel and max was the best indicator. That's pretty much it how I analyze a 4 hour chart. Because until that, until like when I see these kind of like god candles and super volatility, I'll rather wait for the next resistance, the next support, the kernel, the 21, the trend assistant, and when I see a lot of confluence, such as here, there's a massive confluence between five main indicators, then I'll go and look at my oscillators. My oscillators tells me that we're really overbought, really overbought, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 overbought signals. The obviously I'm going to wait for the zero line to reach the RSI again from Chart Prime. Finally, we see a red after few days. Finally, see a red. MACD is turning down. The Ichimoku is at top at the ceiling. So for me, I will until I don't see that, then I'm not gonna enter. I'll rather stay away and just wait and relax, as the market is pretty volatile in these situations. Yeah, that's pretty much how I will look at the how I look at the 4 hour chart for Bitcoin. But the second main thing after I look at the chart is the dominance. So I need to see the dominance. What's the Bitcoin dominance saying without the stable coins? So you can do a formula here, BTC.D times total divided by, you eliminate the USDC, basically all the stable coins. So I'm going to wait for a nice pullback for Bitcoin dominance for 52 or 53%. And then I'm going to go to see where the confluence is between that dominance. So the main thing for me is the dominance, and then the trend line and the kernel and the regression, and the 21 SMA is very important for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it on how I will look at the analysis of when to enter, especially on a god candle like this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, MajerPain. We have a couple of requests. We have Doge or Dogecoin, and we have also INJ. We'd like to take one of those up next. Also, in the meantime, I would like to answer my Gisor. So I would like to know what to expect when buying and selling with low volume. I've been paper trading with 100K, but I will only be able to put in less than 1K to start with. When I put in a buy or sell, will I be able to buy and sell immediately, or will there be a time delay when using real money? No, that is absolutely, I mean, that depends how you do it. So let's go piece by piece. You said I would like to know what to expect when buying and selling with low volume. All right. Based on the context, I'm not 100% sure if you're talking about volume on the asset that you're looking at, or volume you meaning by how much money you're having on your wallet and buying and selling at that time. All right. If you are referring with low volume in the market, well then low volume means that there's not too much money or value rushing in, or at least being exchanged at that area. Therefore, the movements are low. So do not expect higher, bigger movements. All right. Until you start seeing either something like a big volume to a threshold area, or that volume start increasing slowly, but with a very high or outstanding money flow to pick it up after it. If you're talking about the wallet size, like for example, if you have 100K, but now you're doing with 1K, well then the thing is that the process is exactly the same. We're talking about percentages. When we do enter, I usually not advise because we cannot give you financial advice, all right? But I would usually go with a percentage of my wallet. Why? That way you keep any kind of value the same because you're talking about a percentage which always that percentage will be equivalent to whatever size of wallet you have. For me, that is a 3% of my wallet per one entry. All right. So just so you know that. But you can feel free to do whatever you want. Usually on traditional trading, it is not advised to go above 3% per full trade. Nonetheless, again, different parts of literature will tell you different things. So, operate on whatever works the best for you. You also said when I put a buy or sell, will I be able to buy and sell immediately if you're trading right on the platform, like for example on your broker? If I open up a Mexi, a BitGet, a Bybit, a whatever. If we're talking about any other kind of assets or traditional assets, when you click the execute or the buy button, you're mostly immediately buying, but also remember that you can get skipped. And that depends not on chart prime or anything like that. It depends on your broker. Sometimes the movement is so volatile, so fast that the speed in which the market moves might be able to skip your position, and that happens because somebody that buying at market might have step you in or out right before or after your order, so basically skipping you. That depends on that. If you are pairing your trading view with your broker, well then in that way you will have a slight delay while buying and selling, and that it has to do with the API of the platform that you're using. So hopefully I already have covered most of it. MajerPain, would you like to add something on that?
No, you pretty much said it all.
Perfect. Also, he says, yes, I was asking about wallet size. I got more than I asked for. Thank you very much. Anytime. Anytime. So, all right, let me see. I lost you once again. For some reason, I'm having some issues. I lost your input for some reason. Yeah, but we'll just keep with that. All right, guys. So
Yeah.
let's move into my take on Bitcoin. We already have seen how MajerPain what is looking at. Also, we have Doge, ING, and ICP online. Which one are you gonna be taking after, brother?
I can take ING.
Perfect. All right, so I'll take Dutch. So let's go to my charts in here and let's see what do I have. All right here we have Bitcoin, right? And it's a little bit empty charts, right? And that's fine. Let's get started by adding a couple of things, one on top of another, right? So at this point, I want to see where am I at? Let's go to my basic one, which is a little bit more hard to read because it has a little bit too much spaghetti, over that way, right? The important part it is that we have A and B, all right, and then a drop. The same thing I was looking here, A and B, and then we have the fake out of the ETF, and then we have the drop. I mean, everybody was expecting when we have the ETF to have that crazy candle to the upside, basically taking us somewhere around 60K, right? Well then, I was mostly sure that we were not going to be having the ETF approved. Nonetheless, we got it approved, but the price went down, basically just following this area right here. After that, we have a big movement to the upside. We did a little bit of a bull flag, and yesterday we were talking about this bull flag and the possibility for it to break to the upside. What happened? We had the bull flag, and we absolutely demolished that target, basically going further up of what I was expecting. At this point, look at that. When we started hitting the resistance area, we retraced and we went to visit the dynamic reactor. Let's take a look at what I could be having at this area. And for that, let me start throwing in a couple of indicators. The indicators I'm going to be using are going to be my support and resistances, multi-time frame support and resistances, and also I'm going to be using my VPVR or my volume profile, all right? I know it's a little bit messy, but bear here with me. I'm also going to be moving this volume profile to my right, and the way to do that is just go here to your volume profile, go all the way to your right and set as far. Then click OK or click away. Wait for this little thing to stop moving, which it haven't, and it should be, there we go, moving farther to the right. So right here, the thing that I'm going to be looking at, let me just also make sure that I don't have any text in here. Labels, perfect. It is gonna be the deficit or the outcome of the volume that I see here. Right there, I have negative volume, all right, outcome of a negative volume, and also I have a negative volume. The important part in here is that it is a small volume with previous big results, all right? Yes, in this case, it was the downside, but now that we're getting to it, maybe the story could be the same, and also previous resistance, and there was a dynamic reactor becomes new support. All right, so what I'm going to be doing is just updating this little range here, or even creating a new one. So I'm going to go here and add, where is it, right here, a new resistance area right there. As you can see, I am heading on that resistance, and therefore I am expecting some sort of reaction. Just so you know, and please do not copy this trade. And in fact, you can't at this point, all right? But I am trying to open a trailing short, which means that when I got somewhere around 55, 56, somewhere around there, I don't quite remember exactly the point, it opened up a trade or tracking price action. Whenever I retrace out of this price action, a 3%, then I will be opening a short position. So far, I haven't had that 3% retracement. Nonetheless, when that happens, and I see, and hopefully I'll see the flip of the ribbon up there, I will be trying to enter for a short on a small and very, very, very dangerous trade. All right, so just be careful because that is going to be a crazy trade. Just so you know, that is for me just kind of like to have fun in the market. That this is not a serious trade. In fact, it's just kind of like 112 position. So basically, just for fun, right? But what I'm actually looking at, let's go to this other chart in here. Let's just leave this one. It is that I am having a little bit of not a bullish candle, right? And also look at my RSI priming here. Let's take a look at what had happened on the price action once we see some small candles, all right? Look at that. When I start seeing some small candles, I do a little range or I retrace. In this case, I made a bull flag, all right? Let's take a look at what happened again. Small candles, the same bull flag, all right, formation. Small candles, in this case, it was a retrace, all right? And we can keep doing that over and over and over. And the general outcome, it is that I either retrace or make a bull flag. So what am I having right now, right there, all right? So as you can see, I am having little candles on my prime area side, which means that at this point, I either make a bull flag, all right, or I do a retracement. Where is that retracement is at, or where I could be looking at it, we'll take a look at after I get back MajerPain right here in my charts. All right, there you go, brother. Let me know if you disappear. Please let me know because I'm into the charts. All right, so let me start adding a couple of indicators in here. The first ones are going to be my support and resistances, but as you can see, they're a little bit too far away. Therefore, I'm going to be adding some other sort of predictive indicators, which are my predictive ranges. And as you can see, the nearest predictive range, it's coming all the way from here, all right, and my trend assistance, it's also coming this way. So let me just make sure that I don't have nothing too important here. Perfect. Let's just clear it up, and then let's start forecasting my analysis. All right, this is basically what I'm looking at now. Turning on support and resistances, and I see another support area right there. Let's turn it off and then turn another one, and I am building a high order blocking here. Remember, order blocks are magnetic, and if we are on crazy resistance that we are looking like we could be having a retracement and maybe making that huge trend or bullish pennant right there. All right, so again, as long as I am above the zero line, I'm still bullish. And a retracement, it's meant to be just looked as a retracement. Look at that. As I was above the zero line, all right, all of the retracements, they were just that little retracement on a bigger trend. So far, that's what I have on BTC. Let me throw it back to you, MajerPain, to see what else you got for us right there. So shifting to your charts.
Cool. Somebody was asking about INJ, injective. What I can see here since 20th of December is a big, nice range. Let's do a little trend. Let's do this resistance and support. Okay. Now let's add my 21, my mats, which is very close to my 21, which is very good sign. Very good to see the 21 above the mats because we know the mats is multiple moving averages into one, and I love to call it the sniper. So that's my main sniper for as an indicator. And let's turn on the regression. Perfect. We can all see a nice up, down. And the kernel is just perfect to point that to you, which I love this indicator. As soon as I've seen it, I loved it. And support, let's do some support resistances and some predictive ranges. Same as Bitcoin, we are at the premium zone, trying to hit the main resistance at 40 $40.54.
Beautiful
I will
trading channel right there, almost flawlessly.
very beautiful channel for 3 months, nearly the same channel.
Yes.
Very beautiful channel. And my last go-to is my predictive ranges and trend assistant. Let's see where we are now. Again, I'm looking for confluences. Obviously, I'm going to wait for a pullback because we are at the premium zone. I'm not touching that whatsoever because of Bitcoin. I will wait. Where's the main confluence? Is around this area at the equilibrium zone, the 21, the mats, the kernel. So I will wait for this area to enter for a nice retracement because it's not about the breakout, as OC said, it's about the retest. And I think the retest is in this area. Obviously, if Bitcoin drops harder, then your entry point can be up to the last support. You don't have to wait for the discount zone. You don't have to wait for the last predicted range. You don't need to. You should wait for the last discount, the last support of this month, all the way to even January. So I'm not gonna wait for this. I would rather wait for this confluence zone. I need more than 3 confluence zones to be fully active in a trade, and this is my main part here. Right now, I will wait. I will completely wait for a retracement, for a pullback, at least up to the kernel zone at 36, or at least to the predictive ranges at 36.50, 59. So yeah, I will probably just sit back and relax a bit because everything is in pretty hyperactive mode right now as we speak. And as for oscillator still looks bullish. Yes, prime score still looks bullish, but it's kind of dropping down. It was at 10 a few days ago, and now it's at 8. Oversold for sure. I will just RSI is above everything, and Ichimoku is touching the ceiling. So for an entry, I will wait for this zone for a retrace all the way to here. Where's my little basic finding now? Sorry guys. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, here. That will be my main entry. That will be my retest. That will be all the confluences that happened on main 5 indicators that I use. Yes, if you do have a bigger pullback of Bitcoin, which is the main driver, then I can easily see it all the way down to the last support of the 23rd of February. That's all I have for it, INJ. I would pretty much sit back and wait.
Absolutely. I want to answer a little bit of a question before we go into Dogecoin. It's skinny. Is the volume profile similar to the other blocks? The short answer is no. The long answer is yes. All right, and this is a little bit funny, but let me explain you a little bit more on that. So let's go to my charts and take a look at what is it about, and also let's do a Dogecoin or a Dogecoin analysis right there. All right.
It,
So
it's
let me
pretty
pull up. Yep.
sorry, it's pretty funny that I just activated my VRPV and the highest volume is at 34.73 underneath the equilibrium zone. That's a main confluence zone between 35.80 and the PVR volume point of control is at 34.73 on 4 hours. That's all I want to add. I forgot about the VRPV.
Absolutely, don't worry, brother. Let's go to take a look at my charts right now. So the first thing I want to answer it is that same question that you asked me is sorry, the VPVR or the volume profile is the same as order blocks. The answer is no. And why? Because order blocks are where positions are built up, right? And yes, in this case, we can see where volume has been allocated, right? But we don't know if the volume is still there or it has moved, right? What we know is how much volume at that point is being added at this zone right now, live, and how much volume was traded or how much value was traded at this area, all right? And that goes for as long to the last candle that I can see. So the first candle I can see to the last candle I can see, all right? So if I do this, you'll see that this will be updating and it will go from the first candle that I can see to the last candle that I can see. So that's why this changes. So now then, if this is total exchange value, and why am I talking about value and not volume? Because volume indicates the value, all right? And like for example, if I say money, well then it implies that we're talking about at least to the US dollar or something that has a parity with it, right? But what if we're talking about something like Ethereum versus, I don't know, Bitcoin, right? In that case, how can we call some of those money if it doesn't have the characteristics of the current money? But we know for sure that it does has a value to it, all right? So that's why I will be calling this area volume for over value, all right? And this area then is going to be talking about the deficit. What is the deficit? Let's take a look at, for example, this area right here. It says 720,692K, all right? But the main volume is much higher. That means that this is the total volume or total value exchanged, all right? Therefore, we have positive volume or bullish volume, so buys, and negative or bearish volume, which are sells, all right? Which one was higher? If we subtract buys from sells, we're gonna have the deficit, which is this one. So at this point, there are more purchases than sales, all right? So that is how the volume profile works. Order blocks. Well, how are they similar? They are similar because we're talking about volume, right? And when I go and start building up an order block, it is because on my broker, I go and set up a position, all right? I place some money there to be grabbed in the future, but at some point, any point, I can go and cancel that volume, all right? And this is the important word, volume, right? Why? Because I'm allocating value right there, which is direct proportional or directly proportional to the volume that there is on that area, all right? So that's how they are similar, but they are not the same. Why? Because this is proven outcome. Order blocks, you don't know if they're going to be executed. Like for example, let's say that I am a big whale, all right? And I'm interested for the price to get somewhere around here, the current price. I'm interested to make the price artificially go high, right? Why? Maybe I'm seeing that retail is getting exhausted and I want complete demolish them and I don't want them to have money or value to exchange. So when this coin goes back down, they already have spent it all, right? And then when it gets to the price that I want to jump in, well, then I do have that money to purchase there. So how do I make this happen? Well, remember, let's just imagine that I'm well. So what I'm going to be doing is opening in a couple of exchanges, huge positions, all right? Huge positions. So everybody can see where is that position placed on the order book, which makes or most likely is going to build up an order block. I already see that there is very low volume right here, and most of that it is selling volume, all right? So I know for sure there is a deficit right there, and retail have no money. So what I'm gonna be doing is opening a huge order here. Remember, order blocks are magnetic, and I'm gonna be waiting when the price gets here and it's almost about to take my order, I just cancel that order block and disappear my position. I just cancel my position, right? And then I know for sure that they don't have the money to buy this. So then the price will start plummeting, right? And then whenever I'm ready, I will be buying again where retail do not have the money still. All right. So, what is the difference then in what I'm telling you this? Order blocks are not for sure, right? They can disappear despite we can see them there, all right? And that depends because let's just call that, I don't know, owner of a big company has a ton of money, opens a position that creates an order block because it's an order on the order book, all right? And then maybe it doesn't get executed. When it doesn't get executed, well, then it's gone. Does that make sense? Does that explains the difference between both of those tools? Please let me know. All right, moving forward, let's go into the analysis of this area. I also see Kim is showing something important: market sentiment or crypto fear and greed. By the way, if you have the direction or the URL from that one, please share it. Kim Cool, I love the looks of that one, and that is not the same that I use, but it looks pretty sick. I want to look at it. All right, is that, there we go. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. All right, so guys, another thing that I want to point out, and let's see, we are on my charts. Yes, so I can right click, open link, and show you guys right here what Kim Cool is sharing. Look at that, crypto fear and greed. We are right here at 79. What is it at? Now 79, extreme greed. Be careful, guys. Be careful. All right, be careful because we are about to enter perfect storm conditions. And what's the perfect storm conditions? Well, everybody has been buying Bitcoin, especially retail, right? What are the whales doing, right? When is retail getting exhausted? Well, we need to take a look at that possibilities. So let me just wrap it up with analysis and throw it back to you, MajerPain. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is just going step by step. The first thing I really want to acknowledge it is that we are at previous highs. When I start turning on my support and resistances, you can see that I'm slightly below this big resistance all the way up here. All right, and let's just wait for TradingView to do something. Come on. All right, and I know you keep disappearing on me, brother.
It should be
Oh,
major
Jesus.
disappearance.
Yes, Major Magician, we're gonna be calling you. All right, so let's see. So, all right, this thing doesn't want to work. Let me just turn on this one. Perfect. There we go. Finally, TradingView. All right, so we have a big resistance area right here, and we can back it up with another set of support and resistances right there. All right. So where are my resistances? I have a resistance channel in here. I'm almost overbought. But not just because I have golden bucks on overbought zone means that I'm gonna be jumping in for a short. I need to see FOR or flip of the ribbon, all right? And I don't have it right now. Look at how the ribbon physically is flipping, all right? So that's what I call the flip of the ribbon. So also another important thing is when the ribbon crosses out this dashed line down here, which makes this threshold zone, all right? When the ribbon crosses out of that threshold zone, I'm gonna have an OB word right there. So I want to see flip of the ribbon, crossing out this area, having an OB at least, all right? And seeing maybe a little bit movement to the upside and going back down. So far, I am expecting more a pullback or slightly moving to the upside and then a pullback than a major movement to the upside. But that absolutely will depend on Bitcoin, all right? Because if Bitcoin does nothing, this will move. If Bitcoin moves up, this will also will moving up. And if Bitcoin drops, this is gonna be dropping. So any questions on Dogecoin before I back to MajerPain, please let me know. I'm reading you guys. So let's see. No choice but go down. That's crazy. Can you put it swing trade too? No choice for it to go down. I don't quite realize what are we talking about there. Maybe you can fill me in. because I believe that I have shown both possibilities, because remember, we don't know the future. We need to be prepared for whatever comes, right? So I've talked about this. We know we're gonna be wrong once, at least once, right? Nobody's perfect. And maybe my analysis was wrong, or maybe the fundamentals changed, and I couldn't do anything else other than the follow the fundamentals, right? Either way, either it's my fault or it's not my fault. At some point, the market's gonna move the other way around. Therefore, a smart trader is a prepared trader, and if you always have a plan B, you will always be expecting the unexpected. So throwing it back to you, Major Pain. What else do you have for us, brother?
I got AVAX.
Awesome.
I love AVAX. I don't know if you guys used the blockchain AVAX. It's probably one of the fastest I've ever used. AVAX and eGold and Near. Those three were the fastest blockchains for any transaction that you want to make in 8 seconds, literally from an exchange to exchange. And I want to give a shout out to Kim Cool. He's a really good person, and I hope that he's gonna stick it up to the big trades that he made before, and he will be there. He will be there. He's a soldier, and I just want to give us a big shout out because we've been talking for the last 2 weeks. He's an amazing guy. Okay, basically on AVAX, very strange as BTC pumped so much. AVAX barely even moved 3%, which was very intense. I didn't expect that. I literally thought AVAX we're gonna see it at 48 or 52, seeing Bitcoin pumping so hard, but that's all about dominance. So because the crypto total three barely moved, which we're gonna talk about that in a different day. Total market cap excluding BTC and Ethereum, they barely moved. That's why none of the altcoins kind of pumped. So I'm kind of looking for an entry on AVAX, and I'm just gonna put few resistances and a trend line. And now I'm gonna add my 21, my mats. Let's see what the Jacob map. I love this indicator. I think this developer is one of the best developers I've seen for one particular indicator, because it kind of gives like an order block with the support and with the resistance, which I kind of love. And I'm just gonna zoom in a bit more, because what I want more confluences. I want more and more. The more, the better. And support resistances, premium zone, equilibrium zones, the trend assistant. So I'm looking for an entry on AVAX. It's a spot entry, not a leverage entry. And I can see that we have a support right here between 35, and it didn't really break this resistance, which I really thought that will break after seeing Bitcoin pumping 7K. AVAX barely moved, so I'm kind of waiting for a, because everything's bullish, everything's super bullish on AVAX. We turn green, we're above the mats, which is my main indicator. We're above the kernel, above the dynamic reactor, above the volume. I'm kind of waiting for a breakout on AVAX, and I'm kind of targeting from here, even though the oscillator's kind of flipping, it's kind of turning the other way around. I'm waiting for one more day or 2 more days to see what Bitcoin is doing. The RSI still looks promising, but again, I wanted to see the first candle above the EMA. The Ichimoku didn't even turn green, which I'm fairly bullish on AVAX, seeing that there should be a breakout on AVAX. Should be a breakout. And my target for a breakout is around 40, yeah, 43. Around 43. So as soon as we break this resistance, these two confluences, I'm kind of targeted to go above the 43 and 44. 44.5 will be an exit for me, but I will wait for a pullback from Bitcoin first to see what Bitcoin does, and my pullback can be all the way to 37. At 37, not financial advice, of course, I will enter. I'm not going to wait for until it touches the trend line. I will enter at 37 for sure. I'm not going to wait for the equilibrium because we're still bullish. Everything looks very bullish on AVAX. And yeah, that's pretty much it, which is a target from 37 to 44. It's not a bad DCA spot trade. So that's what I'm looking for AVAX.
Absolutely. So thank you for that. So you are bullish in AVAX. Interesting. Let's go in. By the
Yes.
way, I
Yes.
am, but and I mean I see that head and shoulders inversion right there that you have it. So that's what my
Yeah.
brain is seeing: a inverted head and shoulders with a
Yeah.
recast on the mats. So
Yeah.
exactly. I just wanted to hold that retest and also looks like a bullish pennant, right? So
It does. It does look like a breakout from AVAX. And I
yes,
literally thought we are going to have it today. But
nice.
it kind of looks like it will break. As soon as it breaks out above the resistance and the predicted ranges, 40 and 42, in. Definitely in.
Nice. I would
Yeah.
try to get more like closer to the mats and set a tight stop loss. Again, not financial advice, guys,
Yes.
right? So let me go back into my charts now and let's take a look at ICP. And then if we have time, or MajerPain, if you have time, could you pull up SEI and then we can wrap it up?
SEI. I've never heard of
Perfect.
SEI.
Yes. Me either. All right, let me go and take a look at a couple of things in here. All right, so the first thing that I want to look at is that we are just like in AVEX. All right, just like in AVEX, instead of an inverted head and shoulders, we have a little butt in there, right? Or we have a little double bottom in here, right? And it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. We just needed to flip in here. We are bullish. We are close to breaking the range. Oh, sorry for that. And we could be moving upwards in here. There's one fail point in here, which is the same fail point of that I've seen on AVEX. And what I want to touch on that, it is that if we start breaking below the dynamic reactor and our oscillators start breaking below the zero line, which most likely is going to be paired one to another, we will be going maybe for a support and resistance here, bouncing below and making a head and shoulders at this zone. All right. I need to acknowledge that I'm going too far away at this point, but we need to be prepared for whatever it could happen. All right. Remember, a prepared trader, it's a smart trader. So at this point, let's just see where we are at. We are above the dynamic reactor that makes us bullish. Our prime score is very bullish. Again, it makes us bullish. Our consolidation score, it is neutral. So remember, consolidation score is 1, 2, and 3. We are not consolidating. We are moving within the trend, all right? Then 4, 5, and 6, we are consolidating, and we could start adding a hedging strategy. 7, 8, and 9, we're basically close to be breaking the range, and a direction should be defined soon. All right, so we are right at 6. All right, so right at the border to start getting at the end. So maybe a little bit more, couple of flags, maybe doing that little bullish pennant, and then we'll see how that oscillator will be developing. All right, so at this point I am on a waiting zone, not quite there yet, ready to start taking some trades. Nonetheless, we are still missing at least other two indicators. So let's get started with my prime trend assistant. My prime trend assistant tells me that I am bullish, but that I do have a ton of air in here. All right, when I do have too much air, I might be just retracing. So again, that could be adding to the far away prediction that I could be going down, not losing the trend, all right, but also visiting farther down targets. Still not for sure. I am into a very big resistance in here, and I am being constrained with my dynamic reactor. All right, so those are the ones I'm gonna be drawing at this point. Let me now turn them off, turn the next one on. But the most important ones are gonna be my money flow VPVR, this one. So I'm gonna draw another line in here, and also I want to see right down here when I start seeing positive, small volume. Let me jump in farther here so I have a better reading. Here we go. Positive volume, small volume, big reactions. So as you can see, it changed on me a little bit, but it is basically the same zone. This is it. Again, if I get there, that could be a very nice entry zone, especially for me to start doing something like DCA. All right. So now let's jump into another ones, which is my order blocks. Remember, we have three kinds of order blocks. We have soft, which are easy to break, all right? Then we have hard, which are hard to break, and then we have loud, which are the most difficult to break, all right? Let me get you back in here, brother. Perfect. There we go. So far we have impacted the loud order blocking here down here. So this is telling me the most magnetic area it's gonna be to the upside, but it is a soft area. So again, we need to be careful because we are between two support and resistance and two order blocks. So be careful. What's going to be defining the direction is going to be your oscillator once again. So let me just mark them, all right, just for good measure. So I don't want to miss on those ones, all right? And I know my spaghetti is getting built up. So let's just wrap it up with these order blocks. Look at where's my base order block. I am right at a huge resistance, all right? So right now, I can tell you that I believe that I could be reaching up, getting a retracement and going back down to this area. And finally, when the dynamic reactor, sorry, when my ribbon makes a movement either through or bounce from the zero line, I will be having my defined direction. So far, we are still within the consolidation range in there. So that's what I got for you guys on ICP. Let me throw it back to you, MajerPain, and let's tackle the next asset.
Right, about Say. Oh, I know about Say. Say is the competitor of Solana. I met the team of Say and Aptos. Not really keen of copy and paste blockchains. So basically, Say and Aptos are a copy and paste of Solana. Just saying because I met the team and I've seen what they're saying. So honestly, I am not getting anything that's copy and paste that Solana breaks. Nothing will break Solana pretty much, especially Aptos and Say, but we can do analysis on Say. I'm just saying, full disclosure, I met the team. Personally, I'm not DCAing any of Say as they're just copy and paste of Solana. If you look at the code into the blockchain, they're a copy and paste, same as Aptos. But let's go on Say. I had to say it there because my friends are developers and they told me a lot, and I met few teams that they're trying to sell even their mom sometimes. So yeah, no, trust me, I've seen it before. One more thing to add on the Avalanche, why I was bullish, because we broke out on the main trendline channel and we broke. And so this is my trend from 7th of February. It touched a few times. Cool. Now let's see if we add if we even had a resistance before. No, because it's pretty new. Yeah, of course. So that's our main main resistance. So it's getting very squeezy there. Very squeezy. Either it's a breakout or a or a breakdown. And my 21, okay, is very good. It's gonna touch the 21. The mats, okay, so that's a big sign of confidence. These two are my main go-to. When 21 touches the mats, the 21 has to be above the mats in order for me to be bullish and add any indicators. Because 21 is my old classic strategies, and the mats is my sniper. Because I play a lot of it. I used to play a lot of video games, so I love it that it's called the sniper. And my kernel. The kernel touches exactly the mats. That can be a very, very, very strong support in here. If this support breaks without even adding support resistances, I'm looking to touch the trend line. So probably up to 83 cents, 82 cents. But let's see where's our equilibrium zone. So our equilibrium zone is pretty much between 81 and 79, which is not that far off from 80, 82. And now let's see dynamic reactor. The dynamic reactor is obviously the main indicator, but my first two is the 21 and the mats. Those two are my first that I start with. So now that we have a huge support from here, from the mats, from the resistance, from the support that I drew, from the 21, my main confluence zone is here. So this has to break in order for me to probably get in at this point. So at this point, I'll probably, yes, get in because of the dynamic reactor, the volume, and the trend assistant and the equilibrium zone. So we have the trend line, the dynamic reactor, the volume, and a support zone, and a trend line, and a trend assistant. So we have five indicators that will indicate me I should get in here and go for a long. But I will wait for this zone to break first in order for me to wait for this. But again, whatever happens to Bitcoin, the altcoins would bleed. So that's my and yeah. Let's see what the oscillator. It should be oscillator. It's kind of going. It's yeah, it's kind of going down. So I will probably wait for this zone. I don't think I'm going to wait for this zone. It all depends, of course, on the Bitcoin. What Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin drops 5K, you will get it at discount zone for sure. But if Bitcoin doesn't drop and it still consolidates between 55 and 56, I will wait for this zone to go in for a long, maximum up to here. Maximum. I will not probably even wait for that zone. I will probably just go for a long from here to there because I can see like a range going on here, and that range kind of went few times all the way from February, I guess. Yeah, February the 14th. So I can see it in a range from here to here. So it's a pretty nice range. If you either do spot or leverage, it's still 6% constantly bouncing up and down. But if that breaks, if all these indicators break down, then equilibrium zone and the dynamic reactor will be your go-to. But because we're very bullish, I kind of see it only going up to here. And that's my take on Say, even though it's a copy of Solana, not financial advice.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for participating in today's class. It's time for us to say goodbye. Hopefully, you guys have a great trading day. And MajerPain, would you do the honors and set us on our way?
Thank you so much for having me, OC. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to me. I was pretty nervous. Obviously, you can hear it from my voice. Hopefully, next time I'm gonna have less emotions. But thank you again for the invite, and I hope to see you soon, guys. And obviously, see you tomorrow.